Welcome back to another training video on ProPresenter. In this video, we're going to go through importing a song from SongSelect. Now, Easy Worship had the same functionality, but it was pretty clunky. You had to go to like the web module and go to the website, that it would pre-populate, but then you had to log in and all that. So our credentials are saved with the program here in ProPresenter, so it makes the process really, really simple, and the integration is really slick. So let's go through importing a song from SongSelect. So the first thing we want to do is double check that, is the song already in the database that we're looking for. So I'm going to go up and click the search button. Command F is also the key command. And I want to make sure it's on the library. And the song I want to bring in is called, that I want to find is We Remember, We Believe by Sarah Hart and Steve Angrisano. So I'm going to start typing in We Remember. Doesn't look like it's there, but just to be doubly sure, I'm going to type in the full title. Okay, yeah, it is not in our database. It's not on this computer. So I want to see if it's on SongSelect. Now you may be saying, hey, Steve Angrisano, he's an OCP artist. Are his songs really on SongSelect? I thought that was only covered by OCP. A lot of the Spirit and Song OCP titles are actually covered by CCLI as well. And so they're in SongSelect. So let's see if this one is. So I'm going to click this next icon next to the ProPresenter icon. That's the SongSelect icon. Going to click that, and it will search the database of SongSelect. And lo and behold, there's We Remember, We Believe, Sarah Hart, Steve Angrisano. Great. Going to click on that. It'll bring up a little preview that I can double check. Is this the version I want? It gives a preview of the chorus. Okay, I can also, if I downloaded the sheet music from SongSelect versus looking at it in the Spirit and Song book, you could double check the CCLI number to see if it matches that sheet music. Okay, but I got enough data here that says, okay, this is the song I want. So I'm going to click Import. So it brings up the import window. And the import window is broken into three sections here. The first is parsing. How do you want it to parse the lyrics? You can choose two different types of delimitation, line break or paragraph break. Paragraph break would be every time there's a blank line in the text file that's being downloaded, would break it up. So like it would have an entire chorus on one slide, an entire verse on one slide, which is probably too much text for one slide, particularly because of the streaming. So I like to keep it on line break, and I usually default to 2 delimiters per slide. So two lines of a stanza per slide. We can always change that, like if we know, looking at the music, the meter is of the song dictates a different delimiter. But I'm going to default to 2 just to double check here. All right, screen size. It will default here, because nobody should be changing this. It should be 1920 by 1080. That's full HD. But if you click on it at the computer at the church where this says placeholder, it will say projectors. You can always just make sure projectors is checked, and then that will bring up the right size. Our theme, we want to make sure it's on our default theme for songs. So HF General, the top one is our center delimited one, and I'll probably change the name to match that. So rather than saying Tahoma Bold, I'll say, songs, centered, something like that, or don't know what I'm going to call it yet. So it might be a little different, but it will be the top one in that HF General. Okay, then we have the destination. Where do we want to put the song when it imports? We want to put it in our Holy Family Shared Songs library. And I ask you to do the same if you're importing a new song that's not in the database. That way, we can see that it's shared for all. Okay, then if I'm in the middle of creating a playlist, I can actually select the playlist and it will import into that as well. So I was working on the Divine Mercy Sunday. I'm not actually doing that song there, so I'm going to put this back to none. So it will just import into the library. All right, now I can click Edit, and it'll bring up a window that is like the reflow window. So I can do all the things I can do in the reflow window to make things look right. But it also shows me the copyright information, the song information at the top. So I want to make sure that's all does come in correctly and the display copyright is checked. If for some reason you forgot to check the theme and somebody changed it, and you can see it's not centered or it doesn't look right, you can always reapply the theme here. Okay. All right. Now looking at the sheet music now for this song, and as I look at this and kind of read through it and sing along, I can see it's really 3 lines is kind of the pulse of the song. And so I don't want to. Now I could go in and edit all of these, but because I also see, looking at the verses, it's the same for the verses too. It's kind of 3 lines. And so I'm just going to hit cancel here to take me back to the import window. And I'm just going to change this to 3. Hit edit. And now it is 3 lines per stanza, per slide, which is exactly what we want. So we can see, yeah, that matches what we want. Okay, so we're going to do a couple things on this window before we move on to and hit import. We want to add a blank slide at the end of the song, and we want to add an intro slide. Okay, and the easiest way to do that is to just add 2 slides here at the end of the song. So I'm going to go down to the bottom, insert my cursor, and then hit insert slide break twice. You can also use the key command of option return. And so what that's done is it's added 2 slides in the group ending. So we want to change the group. So for this first one, right after the ending, we want our blank slide. So I'm going to select group blank. And then for the last slide, we want to change that group to intro. I could import here and then add the title and thing, but it's right here. So I'm just going to select this and I'm going to copy and paste it down into the intro. Now, a quick tip for those coming from Windows. We were using Windows for Easy Worship, now using Mac. So the copy and paste is always going to be under the edit. That's kind of a convention in Windows now too. But if you forget that, you can, under the help menu, if I type copy, it will show it to me and it will teach me like where that menu command is. Okay. And we can even just click on it here in the help menu and it will do the copy. The key commands in Windows, it's Control-C. Mac, it's Command-C. And that's true of many of the key commands switching from Windows to Mac. Instead of Control, it's going to be Command. Okay, so I'm going to copy this, Command-C, and then I'm going to paste down here, but I don't want to just hit a regular paste because I want it to paste with the theme that we have here. And if I just paste it, it will paste it in this tiny text. It'll be the wrong color and all of that in the presentation. So I actually want to do edit, paste, paste and match style. Okay. And you can see that has a long key command of Command Option Shift V. You use Mac enough, you'll get used to that one as well. But again, it's there to teach you, but you can always use the menu. So no, I need to actually put the cursor where I want it. So this time I'll go ahead and use that key command. And it pastes the way we want it. Okay? Do a line return and do the same thing with the artist. I'll show you what it looks like if you just do a regular paste. You can see, oh, it's the wrong size, and because it's on the slide, it thinks it's black text. It's there, but you just can't see it because it's tiny and it's black instead of white. Okay, so I'll just delete that, go back all the way to the We Believe to get back to the right style, and then paste it with the right style. Okay, all right, we're ready to hit the import. Okay, we've now imported the song into our database, and there it is, but it's not ready to go yet. So first thing is, like, we want the intro at the beginning of the song. So I'm going to click on the intro group here, the slide, and I'm going to drag it to the top of the song. And you can see this green kind of cursor line appears. That's where it's going to be inserted. We want to make sure it appears before the first slide, before we release. And there we go. Now we have our song in the right order. Let's go ahead and edit the intro slide to get it to look the way we want it. Okay, so I'm going to go to edit mode. So edit mode, unlike reflow, is the slide editor. It is very much like, PowerPoint or Keynote. Okay, so you click into the text box and you can edit the text. So we want to make the title all caps. Now, instead of typing it in all caps and it being kind of stuck that way, we're going to just apply a capitalization style. So we're going to select the text, and under the text menu, which it should go to just by selecting the text, here's where you have your normal font, bold, etc. We're going to go to where it says capitalization, and we're going to select all caps. And there we go. It changes it all for us. The text underneath it is still in the right case the way it was typed in, but it applies this style of all caps, and we can change it later, right? So that's why we want to not type it in as all caps, but use the style. Okay, now we want to get that title to stand out a little bit more, so we're going to select the artists, and we're going to reduce the font by 10 points. So we're at 100 because that's the theme size. So we could either type in, select and type in 90. We can use the down arrow to go down point by point, or we can use command minus to reduce. So command plus is bumping it up, command minus is bumping it down. So whichever way you want to do that, there's the 3 ways to change the font size. Okay. We had an extra line break in there that was making it not center, so remove that as well. And there we go. We have our title slide. We go back, and here is our song. In the next video, because I want to keep these short, we're going to create an arrangement to put the choruses in between the verses, because we don't want to have to retype the chorus multiple times. It's already there. We can just reuse the data, and that's what arrangements are for. So join us for the next video, and we'll go through arrangements.